You're gonna.
Welcome, everybody, to Generation Dan, the podcast about generational differences. This is being played completely straight because I hadn't eaten for 6 hours and I'm just now getting around to that. So that's how that works. I'm Atlas.
I'm
I'm
Gino
your
the
millennial.
Genetic Marvel, and I'm your old fuddy duddy.
Mhm. So
old
Billy
fuddy?
Wayne Davis is supposed to be here, but he's not
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
That's all right. Life happens. What are you gonna do?
Mhm.
In all honesty, it's Sunday afternoon, and he may be sleeping. I was just sleeping because I'm old. But realistically, it's one of those things that hey, it's a Sunday and we're all just having fun. So
Subgen, Subsurge, all good.
hey. What's
But,
happening, walkie talkies are neat?
But yeah, so
We're talking about
So-
news blindness.
talking about news blindness while I'm somewhat hungover. This is fun.
Yeah. So Atlas, just so people know, was at his sister's wedding, which is always entertaining. Let's be honest. And how drunk did you get, Atlas? I noticed you don't have any new facial wounds, so let's say you didn't seize up overnight, which is good.
I bit my tongue, and blood got all over my pillow. So, yeah.
Wow.
No wounds though. I don't have no scars, nothing. I don't know what.
And
it was probably like a light.
Card to you too, Mick T.
Yeah. Cheers, Mick. Anyway, so
you survived.
I had one drink, one. It was something called an airmail that was it was pretty nuts even for my incredibly light tolerance.
What was it, like a Long Island iced tea? 5 shots for one? Like, well, what?
Kind of, yeah. They were all like fucking swinging for the fences on the, on the booze they had available. I had that and then 5 Cokes, and then that was it, and water.
I think you have a Coke problem.
Maybe I might.
Or a Coke solution if you take a Coke opportunity. Who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, so I had a great time. My sister's married. Her boyfriend is now my brother-in-law, and
you said he's a cool guy.
I've been calling him my brother-in-law for like 2 years now, so now it's just factually accurate. To hear hangovers to go to Walmart and raid the $5 movie bin. How does that fix your hangover?
I think it's more so the thrill of the hunt.
Mine's always try and eat something substantial before you go to bed, and then a lot of water and food in the morning.
I'll tell you, it helped with mine. Listen, that's just factual. Walkie Talkies Neat also does do his TikTok reels are all movie reviews, in his own personal collection. Which, see, this is the problem: is people that are our age have a ridiculous amount of DVDs and possibly VHS that we've replaced. I have a friend who had a ridiculous VHS collection, replaced it with DVDs. Then slowly started going Blu-rays and I'm like, man, they got us good.
I just remember I don't know if this was a thing for people your age, but every millennial has that one movie on VHS that wasn't really especially popular, but your parents had it in your collection, and it's all you're 4. It's the only thing in front of you.
Ewoks Battle for Endor. Yeah,
Battle for Endor.
Battle for Endor. I had it. It was wonderful.
And that's not Return of the Jedi. There's a movie called Battle for Endor.
Ewoks Battle for Endor, bro. Demolition Man on Blu-ray for $5. That's a good score. Like, listen,
that is a good score
for a guy our age. Walkie Talkies are neat. That is definitely where Serge, you missed it. Walkie Talkies are neat said, "What's up, Serge? Right with us? Okay, you're that important, Serge. So welcome."
He's like the A1 steak sauce of people.
Hey, finding a deal on something like Demolition Man for $5 on Blu-ray, you're like, that will pop you out of a hangover immediately, and you're like, I am having an amazing day. Sir Mick T says hello, Surge, and apparently is throwing alcohol at you, maybe to light you on fire. Mick's volatile kind of guy.
I don't think
So
none of those are fire. That's just 4 toasts and a thumbs
no,
up.
it's alcohol, and then the thumb possibly could be fire. You don't know. It's a
Okay.
great listen. You assume what those emojis mean. I am looking into Mick T's heart. I know it's black like my soul. The quickest cure, or the best remedy for a hangover, in my experience, has been before you urinate, before you go to bed,
Yeah.
down an entire Gatorade, not the Girthmaster 3000, but a normal size Gatorade, like
like the thing they have at the soccer game or whatever, right?
the one
Yeah.
that's a man size wiener, not like a porno wiener, that
Mhm.
that size. Down
Yeah.
that before you urinate is key. Okay, you tricking your mind into thinking that your bladder is empty. You down that, 2 aspirin, right to bed. Then pee, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Did
Atlas,
you get White Claw drunk or proper drunk? Proper drunk. These were not like White Claws. These were like stuff. It was they were all like space related drinks because the brother-in-law works for SpaceX, so it's all
Oh, really?
thematic. Yeah.
I know a
He's
guy
an
who works
engineer.
for NASA, I believe.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe they know each other. Maybe they're rivals. Maybe they're a nemesis. Who knows?
Full English breakfast and a pint of lager cures a hangover.
Yes, but that's if after you've woken up. Like that, full English breakfast and a pint of lager is definitely.
No,
if
that's
you woke up hungover,
preventative.
yeah,
What you
but
just
mine's
said, right?
preventative. Mine's so that you don't wake up with a hangover. Is bottle of Gatorade with 2 aspirin, then you pee, then to bed. You wake up right as well.
I gotta try the drink. Like, what you drink before you pee or after you pee?
Before.
Okay, so chug it, pee, aspirin, bed.
Yep.
Okay.
Or even like aspirin, Gatorade, pee, bed.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've never tried that. It's always like get a big burger or something, bottle of water, bed. I gotta try the pee thing though. That's interesting.
Yeah, drinking something that will rehydrate you before you pee, because you're empty. So look, you're young and you don't have diabetes, so you shouldn't be waking up in the middle of the night to pee. Shouldn't be. You never know.
It's usually around like 5 a.m., like right before I have to get up, like an hour before I have to get up.
Maybe you should do some fasting like me, sir. It does help, because that is one of those things that definitely will benefit you. Oh, somebody just sent me a hangover. Hold on.
Someone sent you a hangover?
No, they sent me a hangover cure.
Oh.
I'm just going to load it up right now so we can all enjoy the remedy that has been sent to me, because let's be honest. Okay, so fill your water bottle. It was a screenshot of us on the top. Fill your water bottle. Sip water or fruit juice to prevent dehydration. There. Have a snack. Bland foods such as toast, crackers may boost your blood sugar and settle your stomach. Take a pain reliever, standard dose, or
it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. The Greek man knows everything, sir. Very intelligent. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we should be talking about news blindness or whatever, but Billy Wayne hasn't shown up yet, and I don't know what's going on with him, because I do this thing now when we have a guest, like I lock it in with them one day before. Still good?
Yeah.
Get the yes. Set the StreamYard link.
Yep.
He sent me a GIF of a dancing old man, and then
he was looking forward to the party.
Yeah, and then I said, "You ready?" at the time, and then nothing, and I said, "We're starting. Just jump in." So
my wife agrees. A full English breakfast cures everything, including sadness. People, including sadness. That is a fact. Not a fan of blood pudding, but
she's English, right?
She is English.
Yeah,
that's true. And when we were in the UK, that was the one thing that we both overindulged in every morning was an English breakfast, because good God, it's I'll tell you this much, and Mick, you can agree with me or not, but there's a lot of things that the English don't do well, but an English breakfast is what they do well, and cuisine is a unique experience there. Some stuff just absolutely is dog shit, and they're like, "This is great," and I'm like, "You're a fucking liar." But pick your favorite nostril, have a couple. That's how you go right through to the morning, right to work. That's the key, right? I can't say I haven't done that one, but hey,
yeah, for real.
it's sometimes you just got to party, and the party don't stop until you get paid.
Till I walk in, don't stop, make it fair.
Sure, let's call it that. In all honesty, so you know what? We were talking about news blindness, and let's be honest, I think we suffer from an overabundance of content in general.
Sure. Yeah,
right?
no, definitely.
And all, like, especially with everything that I'm the process that I'm going through with regards to trying to retire as a fatso. I'm trying to do as much research as possible on diet, the body, how it works, functioning, how to heal stuff just through your diet and stuff like that. And one of the key components there is that some of the most beneficial information I have found from the most bland toast doctor people on the internet that you've ever encountered in the universe, right? But the fact is that with a little razzmatazz and some jazz hands, people just believe whatever you say. Right?
Oh, I need to make a gif of Crater from Archer doing jazz hands. Yeah.
Listen, let's be honest. Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb.
Yeah, that's just how it works, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, so often, especially right now, one of those things is like growing up, especially I didn't have the internet, so that meant that what you gained or what you experienced was you got it as secondhand information from someone, usually someone's older brother.
And it's always the shit like Marilyn Manson had his bottom rib removed so he could suck his own dick. Everyone's heard that one.
Let's be honest, it's probably true. But
or Ozzy Osbourne, I hear, is the older Gen X / Boomer version of that. It was Ozzy Osbourne, and then it became Marilyn Manson, and then.
I don't remember if it was Ozzy. For me, it was Marilyn Manson. But
for
also
my dad, it was Ozzy because I asked him. I was like, "Was that a thing when you were like in your 20s?" He's like, "Yeah, we always heard it was Ozzy." So.
See, but that's the thing is, Ozzy also bit the head off of a bat, and that
that kind of superseded it.
Yeah, like you're like, who cares if he sucks his own wiener? The guy fucking bit a bat's head off on stage. You're like, that guy's got some issues, right? So Also, why is Meta removing news in Canada? This is a thing that's going on right now. Meta announced Tuesday it has started removing news articles for Facebook and Instagram users in Canada. A change made in response to the country's Online News Act, the law that forces tech companies such as Meta and Google to pay news outlets for their content. Listen, the fact that news is being paid for is an issue in and of itself. I remember the whole Tommy Hilfiger Oprah fake news. What was Tommy Hilfiger Oprah? What was that? Remind me, sir.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Tommy Hilfiger and Oprah. Well, there's a lot of, were they dating? Were they romantic? Did they have an intent? Tommy
was apparently a huge racist.
Still is. Let's be honest. Come on. He there was the whole thing because that was a definitive cultural movement when it came to his clothing. That and then he was like, I don't like black people. And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And Oprah, I think Oprah's probably racist. Let's be honest. She seems like she would do it just out of like reparations. Like, I got you, Whitey. You're funny.
Yeah. Because she has a reputation of kind of platforming shitty people. Your Dr. Oz's and the like.
Dude, Dr. Oz. Yeah. Well, listen. Number one, Dr. Who's the other one? Dr. Phil. He's not a doctor. Okay? Yeah. He's like he has a doctorate. He's not a doctor.
He's not a doctor. He's not a therapist, and he's not a Phil. No, I'm kidding.
The biggest sin is he's not a Phil. Okay, how dare you, sir? And against all the Phils in nature. No, but that's like, then Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is a nut job. Like, that's beyond. right?
And he's a right-wing grifter. Go check out the Behind the Bastards episodes about them, which Billy Wayne Davis has been on, and he's not here. Where is he?
He's traveling through time. A man on a mission. Let me see what this is. Here was, for more than 10 years, a vicious rumor has circulated about Oprah and clothing designer Tommy Hilfiger. When it first surfaced, Oprah went on the air to deny the rumor and to say that he'd never even been on the show, and the rumor seemed to die. Interesting. I think Oprah definitely has the power of some sort of deity at this point. Dr. Oz looks like he has a white van luring kids with free candy. But it's not. It's not kids. He's like he's stealing old people that are like, Dr. Oz saved my life.
Yeah, no, he's like he's a medical grifter. There's lots of those.
Yeah.
But it seems like him and Jared from Subway should have the opposite grifts. Dr. Oz seems like he should be the pedophile, and Jared seems like he should be the one giving out bogus medical advice.
Yeah, both of them delivering snake oil. Let's be honest. That's
but like, just the I don't know.
It's a weird thing, and that's the thing is like, I'm happy that there is more. Jared ate fresh.
Well, I'm traumatized for life. I'll see you guys later.
I definitely feel like Jared was a cannibal. That's fair. Like a little bit of whatchamacallit.
And then I know there's that stuff with like Peter Thiel where he wants like young people's blood injected into him to.
Okay, but hold on. Let's cover that is actually a thing, and it happens in Silicon Valley. That's the biggest consumer of teenage blood. No, that's a real thing. Like,
no, for real.
It's a youth thing. Like, it's apparently supposed to turn back the clock. Which, listen, as I get older, I'm like, hey, I'm with you, but at the same time, if it's not accessible to all, then it's not healthcare, and that's a cult.
Yeah,
that's
no, that's good. That's
some weird shit, right?
Good mantra.
Well, like, let's be honest, is that the idea that some people are doing that in an effort to turn back time? You're like, number one, that's a weird song. Number two, I don't think that's very fair, because I did a report on this a while ago where which do you think is more profitable towards the gross domestic product of the United States of America, Atlas? The sale of blood and plasma and its particulates, or corn and soy? Corn and soy together, just blood.
Well, considering what we're talking about, it makes me want to say blood. But if we weren't having this conversation beforehand, I would have said corn and soy. Which one is it?
It's blood.
It's blood. Okay.
It's like $22 billion. And soy, and I have
what is this? I have 41-year-old blood. Let's sell it to teens so they can look older and buy alcohol before.
Listen, can you imagine?
Yeah.
It only makes sense that we can do a reverse switcheroo, right? It's like, listen, you give me your new young person blood, so I can age, and I'll give you my old person blood, so you can buy old person things.
So we're just kind of aiming for like late 20s, early 30s. Is that what we're trying to like land on?
I think that's a good time.
Or are the billionaires trying to go full Benjamin Button and see if they can like go all the way to?
Listen, there is a guy who looks like a serial killer. He's been on a few. I've seen him on a few reels on Instagram or on YouTube where he's trying to combat aging. So he's like, my biological age is that of a 25-year-old, but my actual age is like 47. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I spent $2.5 million. It might be a niche market. It's not a niche. It's like a big niche, like a fatty niche. Yeah. It's like country music as a niche. That's prevalent. But so apparently he spends $2.5 million a year on trying to become youthful. And you're like, this is the kind of guy who's like, all I do is I eat vegetables. Did you hear about the influencer who passed away?
It was which one?
So fair point. It was a social media influencer that only said to only survive.
Oh, the fruit only diet?
Tropical fruit.
Yeah.
And she died of starvation. You're like, fucking loser.
Stupid.
The fruitarian. Yeah. Which you're like, what? And also too, she looked like Skeletor. And not like the cool Skeletor, like a Skeletor from that weird He-Man in the 90s. You know the one.
Okay, now you have to do the thing.
He-Man. That's
Classic.
Till next time, friends.
Yeah.
It's
the meme where he's like running away.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Who knew that chickens have a cloaca? Till next time. Yeah, there we go. What's her name? Xana Samsonov, known as Xana Dart on social media, claimed she had lived on a fully fruit-based, low-fat diet for the past 5 years, and she did. She did.
And then she did. Yeah.
Well, listen, the world is a better place. Let's be honest. That's just a horrible situation, and it's ridiculous. But that's okay. But let's be honest, though. How many times have you heard news where you're like, "Oh, that can't be real," right? Like the idea that like you had. Remember? Did you ever see the things for Liver King where he's like, "I'm all natural"? You're like,
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
And even Joe Rogan's like, "Come on, man, stop lying." He's like, "Okay, I may be taking steroids." You're like, "May? Come on, just relax, okay?"
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, we live in this weird place where people get off on misleading people too, right? And those are the guys who are like, "I'm an edgelord." You're like, "No, you're just a dickhead."
I always assumed it was more of a money thing. Like they want the money and the power of
influence.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I never thought it was so much about the like, yes, I'm deceiving them. If they could, get paid for giving like sound medical advice as not a doctor for this or that reason, you probably would. They'd probably do it. It's just that's how they see how to,
maybe
do that. But yeah, like this is why I like the more time goes on and like AI starts being more of a thing and all the automation. I'm thinking that like UBI is kind of an inevitability, and I'm hoping that if it's not like, I don't know, here's $6 or whatever, like enough to pay your rent and insurance and stuff like that, right? And your groceries. If it's enough of that, people would stop being so
garbage.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, like during the pandemic, where your mileage may have varied depending, what country you were living in, but where people were getting enough to like just
survive,
and then also there was like a pause on the rent. Obviously, they're not going to let that happen, but like that was like a unique circumstance where everyone realized, shit, this is kind of awesome that I can just do whatever it is I want to do. I can get a sourdough starter. I can.
Well, listen, I don't disagree with that. And for people who are wondering about Liver King, this was the thing. According to private emails allegedly by Johnson, he was at one point spending at least $11,000 a month on vials of human growth hormone. Aminotrope is in his apology. Johnson said he's still using steroids. Liver King, why are you lying? Can you imagine having $11,000 and just spending it on human growth hormone?
Yeah, for real.
I would wish to be a little bit taller for that price. I'm like, you know what? If you're going to give me that, if I'm going to spend that much money, I think I should grow like 3 or 4 inches too. But listen, but that's okay. But let's be honest, is that if there were too many people who suckled at the teat of the free money that not only shouldn't have, like right now there are reports coming out where they're like, oh, there were a bunch of 17, like there was like hundreds of 17-year-olds that got COVID payments in Canada, where you're like, get fucked. That's no, absolutely not. You can't do that, right?
I think it's it's almost impossible to enforce literally everything, and the whole like welfare queen like fallacy. I really think like it's universal basic income. It should just like, the point is it doesn't matter, like rich people are going to get it too, but that should just be part of how that works. We're making enough as a society to just
I don't disagree with you there.
What I don't think should happen is UBI, and then they're like, we're going to raise everything in kind, and you're like, no, god damn it. Like,
well, yeah, that's the whole issue, right? Like realistically, it's the idea is that if you have universal basic income, then there has to be a limitation with regards to rent cost
Hmm.
and food, like groceries and stuff.
Yeah.
Like those have to be a universal amount, because like
Yeah.
the whole idea is the governance for inflation, or the statistic is based on a X basket of goods, right? These basket of goods cost this much. When these basket of goods cost more, inflation goes up, right?
Yeah.
Not included in those are like Nikes. Why? Because they're not. You don't need to have Nikes. You don't need
Yeah.
to have Air Jordans. You just need shoes, right?
Yeah.
It's that guideline, right? So if you don't have a restriction, and that's the problem, is when you have a restriction for things like rent and food, is now you have entire industries who are going, well, it's not really worth it for us to do anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, like if they, I don't think housing should have been a commodity to begin with, but I'm a few decades too late, or almost a century too late for that. But um, because people need housing no matter what, and I don't know, I'm getting too much on my high horse here. What I will say is like, okay, so I'm teaching English at a high school
Yeah.
in a week and some change, right? Um, and I learned that part of my curriculum is teaching media literacy to high
Hmm.
schoolers,
Which
which
is
is
awesome.
awesome, fucking good shit. And we're like how to spot fake news, how to keep an eye out for AI, biases, things like that. And I really think that it's great that this is a public school doing this. This isn't like a
Yeah.
hippy dippy
Yeah.
private school who's doing this just for shits and giggles. Because I know that there's like an endemic problem where like, especially for uh, white boys, you get a lot of like, you know, Andrew Tate fans out of that because
Hey,
they're 14. They don't really know
don't
how to like
don't
parse
criticize
it
what
out.
you haven't researched. Okay, let's calm down. And also, too, okay, he's the hero of a generation. Okay, just
It's like, I will jump through your computer and murder you if you were serious.
for what? For what? Because he says you should be capable enough to defend yourself, and you should be profitable enough to have a good life.
Okay, but he
And
was also like trafficking young women.
allegedly, sir, don't
No,
get us shut
like
down. Don't
he
get us
got
shut down. Hey,
arrested for it.
Atlas is saying that everyone who gets arrested is immediately guilty. That's on the record. Just
No.
also, too, listen, this is like in 2020, Brady applied for a PPP loan worth $960,855 to keep his wellness brand TV12 afloat
Yeah.
during COVID-19.
Hmm.
He should be shot in a public square. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that also happened with like Brett Favre, where he took a bunch of like what was it, tax money from Mississippi or some shit. Like,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. The PPP loan thing was fucking bullshit. You teach English, your pupils are doomed. You've never been to Yorkshire. At least I don't have beans on toast. All right.
Well, that's a fair retort.
Yeah.
And of course,
Oh, he's gonna kill me.
long live the original G right there. There you go. There you
Oh
go.
God,
Alex. Okay.
so creepy looking. Yeah.
No, listen, and that's the best part is like Andrew Tate was definitely somebody who profited off of embellishing and exaggerating things and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But when you get down to it,
And then he lost a meme war with a 19-year-old girl. That was even funnier.
it is. It's very funny.
It's fucking hilarious. I don't know, man. Beans and toast slaps.
Beans.
Both of those things slap separately. Together, mm-mm.
Listen, having been there, I just gave my beans to my wife. I'm like, here, you enjoy that.
Yeah.
And she was like, they're the best. And I'm like, I don't know about you. You have taste bud issues, but that's just my opinion. But like, listen, that's the real problem is someone like Andrew Tate who has a audience and should be promoting people to, hey, you know what? Yeah, you should get out and be physically active. Hey, you should be a productive member of society. Embellishing into the let's say not so good ideas of influencing young people, such as she's for the streets, which I personally laugh at, but that's not something you should promote, right? It's not something that you should encourage people to use other human beings in any fashion. And that's why now that he's released, we thank everyone and hope he continues his I'm trying to think of things to piss you off at this point based on Andrew Tate. It's just funny. because you just hate him so much, and I'm like, why? He's just a person. He can do whatever.
It's the worst.
He's not. Listen, you know who Stalin is, and Stalin's the worst. Okay.
Yeah, but Stalin's dead. Andrew Tate's alive.
He's not dead. He's hanging out with Hitler in Argentina. Hey Dino, what color is your Bugatti? It's definitely not a rainbow. I'll tell you that. No. It's
what
blue.
happened?
If I could.
To Billy Wayne. I am so pissed that this has happened twice now.
Because we had to. Well, he didn't show once, and then he showed up, and then we had him, right? Or he showed up late.
So.
What happened last
yeah.
time? Yeah,
I think so.
Life happens. Billy Wayne Davis, we hope everything is okay, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Because we're not bad people. Apparently, only Andrew Tate is, according to Alice. And if you're arrested, you're automatically guilty.
No.
How dare he? No, but that's like, okay, so can I ask you a question, Alice? How are you posing things? Okay. Let's be honest, we've all seen The Simpsons. We know that teachers are given the secret teacher's guide with all the answers. What is in there that is showing you how to read the news properly? Is it propaganda? Are you teaching them properly? Are you telling them to listen to the heads in the floating heads? But tell me, share your secrets.
The floating heads from Futurama.
Well, listen, don't look behind that curtain, boys and girls. It is scary. All midgets. No. So,
okay.
What kind of things are you? How are you working it? Yeah.
So, how to spot fake news in 8 simple steps. Right.
Okay.
Consider the source. Click away from the story to learn more about the website, including its stated mission and contact information.
Good point. That's valid.
Of course, it does that thing where it only gives you like the first couple words. Okay, read beyond. Headlines can be outrageous in an effort to get clicks. What's the whole story? Also good.
Okay. We also use that tactic here, just so everyone's clear.
What with the crazy
well, we exaggerate. We said Billy Wayne Davis is going to be here, and
yeah, and then he just wasn't. And same with Ravensville Mart, which she's coming back a later week. I say, hoping that turns out the way it does. So check the author. Do a quick search on the author. Are they credible? Are they real? Supporting sources. Click on those links. Determine if the info given actually supports the story. Yeah. Check the date. Reposting old news stories doesn't mean they're relevant to current events. Is it a joke if it's too? Okay, yeah. So like, there's a whole subreddit devoted to people who don't get that The Onion or Clickhole or Babylon, whatever the thing is a joke, right? Yeah. It's called 8 The Onion. So always be aware of that. Check your biases. Consider your own beliefs should affect your judgment. Ask the experts, ask a librarian, or consult a fact-checking site. Yeah. So
those are all good points. And in all honesty, I find that like this Lost Prophet singer who's in jail got severe injuries in prison last night. He got proper smashed in. Well, that's always interesting. I don't know who that is, but hey. Sometimes you got to get beat up in jail because they're guilty. As per Atlas, as soon as you're arrested, you're automatically guilty. Look, but don't be so angry, sir. What are you, Wolverine of McDonald's? Get out of here.
No, I was flipping you off with a fry.
Well, listen. I'm fat. I'll eat that fry. Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me with a good time. That's one of those things also. I'm going to use this. I'm going to keep this in my back pocket just for future uses. She's faking it. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It seems like young people are too easily influenced, but at the same time, I feel like that's part of the journey of becoming adults, right? Because we're finding that young people are radicalized instantly, and it is obscene and ridiculous and absolutely asinine. But
this is why it's important to be around people who aren't your demographic, right? Because you can be told things about, this or that location, person, nationality, gender, whatever, and then you meet them, and then you find out, oh, they're just people. Like, for people who haven't met a trans person, there's all of that propaganda about like, oh, they're groomers or this or that, and then you meet a trans person, you're like, look, man, I just want to, like, I'm a woman on the inside. I want to just be that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I just want to pee in peace, and then I'm going to leave. You don't need to.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a difference between someone who is going through the struggle and difficulty of body dysmorphia or gender dysmorphia, which is a real thing and
Mhm.
has been scientifically proven over decades of research and proven to be a long and very difficult journey. But some people do go through it. Then there
Yeah.
are people who have a full beard and a wiener and are like, "I'm a lady." You're like, "Okay, get fucked there, weirdo."
I mean,
So
they could have just
it's a
discovered
difficult
it, and
thing.
they haven't like tried
Uh,
to.
Very possible, but that's the thing is there are, and that's where it comes down to. Some people are just using information to gain an advantage when you're going, that doesn't make any sense, right? And
Mm.
that's the hard part is because how do you not, especially as a young person where you're influenced so strongly and because like I'm not sure if it's the idea that we put our elders, educators, whatever you want to call it, on a high pedestal so that when they give us information, we're like, well, that's the truth and that's what we're going to die on.
Yeah.
You're like,
That
that's
just
also
happens
not
when
smart.
you're a kid, and then there's that first like,
Yeah.
I think that's fucking bullshit. What
But
else is bullshit that
can
you've
I,
told me?
let me ask you this. When was the first time you realized that adults are just people?
Okay, there. I don't think it was like a revelation all at once. I think it was cracks in the armor until it just
Okay.
kind of all chipped off. The
Yeah.
first time was when I was in second grade, and we ran into my teacher, Miss Henschel, in the grocery store because it was that thing where like you don't sleep in a coffin under the desk. What the fuck? Like I'm 7, right? I don't.
Totally fair.
So that's one. Another one was in like sixth, seventh grade. You would start getting teachers who would like spit out bits of their personal life in just them talking to you because you're a little older, so they can at least like
Yeah.
and just one of the teachers was going through a divorce,
Ooh.
so and they would like obviously it was kind of inappropriate for them to be talking about it in class, but they would just
Yeah.
spout off. So that was like, oh shit, teachers are like
People.
people.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I think was the I think the realization that like teachers, adults are people too.
Yeah.
I think it was when I was about like 16 or 17, and
Mhm.
then you start to get little peeks into adult world because
Yeah.
now you have a driver's license. So they're like, go pick up, you know, this from the store on your way home from
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
then like little stuff where it's like, oh, making this, or I didn't know what to make for dinner. So like it just like sloughs off
Yeah.
that facade over time. Um, I don't think it's a like explosive realization most of the time. Classroom phone rang, teacher answered and simply said, okay.
You need to elaborate a little bit more there. Walkie talkies neat.
Turns to us. Oh, okay. Turns to us and
Says
says,
my
my
ex
ex
is
is
pregnant
pregnant.
and I have to go.
There you go. Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. That's okay. Well, now, well, listen. Here's a question. Now, listen, you're going to be educated. What are you teaching? You teaching young people? What are you teaching?
English, I'm teaching
Monkey sign language. No,
no.
what are you teaching?
ninth grade.
Ninth,
Ninth grade English.
ninth grade.
Yeah. So fresh out of middle school. And then I'm teaching 11th grade AP. So like right near the top too.
AP is
Advanced placement. So it's
advanced
like
placement English. So
so like the
grade
smart
9
advanced
English
English.
and
Yeah.
nerds.
Yeah. 11th grade nerds.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a lot of sadness in the.
Mhm.
You start like in September. Like this is like
No, I start on the 14th of this month.
August.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it used to be after Labor Day. That's when school started. But
So
we
you're
they just
starting August 14th.
August 14th is the Monday, and then
Oh, but not students. That's more so to prep your stuff and all that kind of stuff, right?
no, it's students. I'm getting onboarded on Tuesday and Wednesday this week.
What the?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. It's
Thank
very
you.
exciting. Also, I feel like you may die inside a little bit. So
Maybe.
just be ready. Well, let's be honest, okay? Children in grade 9 are not smart.
No, they're not.
Let's
Especially because they're fresh into grade 9, right? They just came from middle school. All of them are in the middle of puberty still. This is going to be awful.
Oh, the smell. Have some deodorant,
Oh yeah,
fresh
I
deodorants in
totally
your
do.
drawer, and just
Yeah.
go, hey, this is available. And the other one, have rubbers just to really set some people off. But
If you haven't watched the movie The Substitute with Tom Berenger, please do. Oh, I've seen that movie. Please do.
that seems fair. Also, what is it? Dangerous Minds? No,
That I
you
haven't seen, and I
you
should.
could be Michelle Pfeiffer. You could be Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay?
Go watch Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, listen, that's it's only reasonable.
The
But
the majority of the school is Latino, so gonna
okay,
go there. How do I reach these kids?
I'll tell you how. First,
No.
first things first. Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna need this kind of a hoodie. It's a little bit thick, but it is lined with Kevlar, so it's stab resistant. I feel like
Mhm.
this is important for your educational journey, sir. Just letting you know. Okay, I really think that you should get that for your class. Just have it there, just in
Yeah.
case for crowds. For
Mhm.
crowds, maybe just a little brace. Protect your kidneys. Protect your kidneys. They're important. Just a
Yeah,
little,
for
maybe a
real.
little band, maybe some telephone books wrapped around your whatever. It's fine.
Mhm.
Is it in a nice area of California?
Eh,
It's not, is it?
it's
Oh,
whatever. It's gentrifying, so that's something. But
oh, that's
yeah,
listen. Just be careful, okay, sir.
yeah.
Be
No, I know.
careful, and
Katie,
also
Katie sat me down and had the whole like, have always have a way out, and
don't be a hero.
yeah,
Don't be a hero. Be and also too, those grade 11 students are gonna be their aim is to break you. Okay. Grade 9, they are dumb. They don't know what they're doing. But
mhm.
11 AP classes, they're trying to break your spirit.
I don't
So
know if the AP kids are gonna be too trying to break me. If it was just regular 11, sure, but like the point of doing an AP class is to like they want the good college. So
yeah,
like they're like, ooh, we gotta buckle down because like 11th grade is where you like get your shit done for college.
theoretically, yes. No, I don't disagree with you there, sir. It's more so that okay, so I just received a message saying that you should definitely intimidate students with a very specific reel. This one,
No,
definitely something.
no.
Come out to play.
Yeah, no. I'm not
Listen.
I'm not doing the how do you do fellow kids. I'm over this shit. Let's just yeah.
I just thought about that too. Hello, fellow students. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not. Just pretend. You know what? The funny
Actually,
thing.
that's not a bad idea if I just do that as a bit. No, I'm not gonna
No,
bother.
don't. No, no,
Yeah,
no. Hey,
yeah.
don't be funny. Don't be funny
No.
because
It'll happen on its own.
it will happen on its own, and you have to play the straight man. I think it's very key
Yeah, I
because if
think so.
you're a funny teacher, then you're a cool teacher, and cool teachers do not have a good time. Okay,
Really?
you want to
I,
be listen. Okay, because a cool teacher, hey man, we're like friends. They're gonna try and get one on you. Okay,
mm,
and now I'm telling you this, Atlas, as a person who is number one intelligent, but also had zero respect for teachers. Okay, when I say
yeah,
zero, I mean like, oh no, I'm better than you. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, listen, I know who you are as a person, and I'm telling you, I'm better than you. And also too, I have a wealth of knowledge that you don't. And the reason is it's genetic. The Greek man is smarter than everything. So you're definitely going to come into that, and especially those kids who are preparing for college
yeah,
are going to try and pull a fast one on you. Just so that's
yeah.
why is that if you're the funny teacher, it makes it a lot harder to stay at arm's length. You
Got it.
that is a very important man. I'm oh there was a young teacher I had, grade 9. Me and him got into a yelling match in class because I'm told him he was an idiot. I'm like, no, that
Mhm.
doesn't. And he's like, well, you want to go? I'm like, I would snap you in half. And he goes, I take Taekwondo. And I'm like, I'm 6'2". At that time, I was 6 foot and 270 pounds. I'm like, I could grab you, lift you over my head, and smash you. And he
It's
was
like
like,
the
because you think? And I'm like, no, I know. These are that's my brother.
yeah,
I smash him. And he was
yeah,
like, Jesus. And I'm like,
yeah.
so don't try and we had it out. And from that point on, we had to respect, like, don't come at me. because I won't back down. And if you push hard enough, I'll just break your face, and then your life is ruined. I'll go to jail, but I'm like, young offenders, I'm protected. Don't worry about it. That was grade 9, right? And that was more so. I was hot shit, right?
I'm
Like
just
grade 9,
imagining like that episode of Seinfeld where it's George's dad and Elaine, and it's like, you want a piece of me? I
You
can
want a
drop
piece
you
of-
like a bag of dirt.
Yeah,
You want a piece of me? You got it. You know.
I love that scene with
Yeah.
all my heart. It's like, what?
Do you-
He's not
apparently,
smart
it
enough.
has like a ton of outtakes too, because like
A ridiculous amount of outtakes.
because she like
Yeah.
couldn't hold it together.
Could not
Yeah.
for a second. Like, and she was like, what does that mean? He's like, you want a piece of me? She's like,
Yeah.
oh, I do. And then she's like it's, yeah. But that's okay. But that's the whole thing, right? Is that, yeah, you're gonna have an experience this year. I'll tell you that much, buddy.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
it's
feel
gonna
like
be crazy.
our topics are gonna be a little bit ludicrous over the next few months
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
your experiences are gonna be
And
okay.
I'm kind of hoping that that they don't find me here. We'll see. If they do,
Yeah. I'm
sucks.
definitely not going to continue to use the idea that you are Dr. Ass's no cock.
No. I don't think you can do that anymore. Now, granted, what's weird is that like when I was a kid, it was, you know, Mr. or Mrs. or Miss last name.
Are they going to call you Atlas? No.
Well, no, but like for Katie's stool, it's Miss Katie, you know? So I don't know if it's Mr. Atlas or Mr. Novak.
In high school, they might try and pull first name shit. Don't do
No,
that. Just
no.
go, no, I'm Mr. Novak. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of hoping this does some heavy lifting too. We'll see.
Well, listen,
Um,
I think you really have to keep in mind that young people are not like it's a weird time of existence, right? And that's like, I think the one thankful thing that you should have is that at least in the next 6 months, you don't have some pivotal life-changing event that you're leading up to and have to accommodate. That's at least you have nothing like that in the next 6 months.
Shut up. Guess we'll find out. It's a good thing that like the guy's last name doesn't change, because it'd be weird to be like, all right, I'm Mr. Novak, and then when I come back I'm Mr. Novak, or like whatever the Mr.'s Novak, right? That would be weird to come back. Although I know for like the like neutral term is Ms, because that counts for both Miss and Mrs. So you can just
MS.
do that, and yeah.
In all honesty, like, look, I still make fun of Victoria because Victoria legally didn't take my name, but she did change it on Facebook. I'm like, well, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Random Rick reviewer, Mr. Dino, and Assless.
Yeah, he showed up after you put it up on the screen. I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
I don't think we've seen them before. Good
Welcome.
to meet you. Welcome. You've got mail.
No,
God, remember that shit from yeah. Get the discs in the mail and fucking.
I remember not realizing. I'm like, hey, does it make those sounds? They're like, no, that's a program. I'm like, can I get the program? They're like, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, well, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, I spelled it right. Stupid Twitch.
Stupid
Yeah, that's
Twitch.
fair.
Hey, look, I'm just glad to have another viewer. Please drop a like or subscribe or whatever on your thing of choice.
On Twitch, we're also on YouTube. It's under Dino the Genetic Marvel, Atlas Novak, or Generation Dan, because that's what the show's called. And we're real people. We are not just people in boxes. I'm actually a 97-year-old Asian woman. That's fine.
That's if you and Victoria combined into one person. You get 97-year-old Asian woman, because you add your ages together and then the Asian supersedes the Greek, and then
I don't know about that one. That's a tricky one. I definitely have had arguments with her that I'm like, no, the Greek was first, okay? Greek first, then the Chinese, then we fight to the death. It's fair.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
She's also from the UK, so technically I colonized myself when we were married, which I'm
Ayo.
okay with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is the weird thing, is like you're definitely in for it, but I'm excited to see how that goes with regards to that list, because being able to are you allowed to like bait them with a weird news story each week and be like, find out the truth?
Don't know. I'm not. I will have to like literally talk to me on Wednesday evening. I'll let you know.
I look
what
forward.
happened.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. I will be available by phone, Atlas, because I feel like in the middle of the day you're gonna call me and be like, "You were right. They're all demon children. Get me out of here. I'm coming to
Tuesday and
Canada."
Wednesday, no kids. It's just like onboarding, getting my syllabus, and getting my room and stuff.
Just be ready for the warn. There's gonna be teachers who try and fuck with you. There's
Yeah.
gonna be teachers who try and befriend you for all the wrong reasons. Don't be friends with any of them. They're work colleagues, not friends.
Yeah, I know.
Key.
I learned that
I'm
the
sorry.
hard way at my old job. That was,
I don't mean to. I hope that doesn't sound condescending. It's more so that I feel like you're my younger brother, and I have to tell you,
No,
hey,
no.
the
I got
people
you.
are dog shit. They're dog shit people, and you don't trust them. Okay? They will
No, I
try
got
and
you.
steal your lunch. Make sure you put your lunch and have like a tape so it's never tampered with.
Yeah.
Very key, because some of those guys will put their wiener in your sandwich.
I'm still okay. So there was one time at my old job where I had a meatball, like leftover half of a meatball sub, and somebody took the meatballs out of the sandwich, but not the sandwich itself.
Did you ever find who that monster was?
No, I was like, "What the fuck?" Okay, this is either the funniest prank in the universe, or somebody who's like, "I have the bread. I just need the meatballs from this guy."
I'm not sure. Like, that is either a criminal mastermind or like a demon spawn. I'm not sure. Like someone who's just pure evil.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Some evil vegan running around. Like, that's also possible. They're like, you don't deserve meatballs.
It's the all fruit bitch.
Atlas killed her. That's what happened.
Yeah, and then when I hear the phrase all fruit, I think of the commercial from the what is it, the 80s, the Polaner all fruit commercial, the please pass the all fruit. And
no idea what you're talking about.
They do like a riff on it on Family Guy where they're about to show it as a cutaway and Peter's like, hi. So something tells me that our younger viewers won't get the reference. So I'm going to take you through the actual commercial. And then it's them, like it's all these rich people and then being like, please pass the old fruit. And they're, it's this like jam stuff.
Dirty
and then
bastards.
pass the Polaner all fruit. And then at the end, it's like a Southern guy who's like, please pass the jelly. And then everyone faints. Because like, oh my, they called it jelly. So that's what I think of when I hear all fruit.
Is evil vegan redundant? Yes, definitely. That's
I think as long as they don't force it on people, it's fine. That's probably, you know what? That's probably a good thing to think of with when looking at news and also just like points of view and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is this point of view, is this article, does it have anything to gain by hurting someone or a group?
That's right.
And if so, why? And then consider that for yourself. So like veganism doesn't hurt anybody, but if it's like, bitch slapping a cheeseburger out of your hand, yeah, fuck you. Like,
Listen, let's be honest. I think Atlas, do you get an ID card for work by any chance?
I assume so. I haven't gotten one yet. But
maybe what you should try and do is add this as the picture for it. It is right there, and just try and pass it off. Just see what happens. Just
no, you know what I think I should do? I should get the one after I got my star and I had the like gnarly ass stitches down the side of my face. That would be fucking cool.
Also, too, if people ask about the scar, be like, it's none of your concern.
Oh yeah, no. So with the little kids at Parker Anderson, I would always say, I'm a pirate, right? QT response. These kids are old enough. Just be like, don't worry about it. That kind of thing.
See? Okay, Random Rick reviews. You're part of the problem. I love it. I wore my COVID mask for a long time after it was over
because it bothered some people I worked with. I mean, sure. But like for people, okay, I think it's good in the long run where like if you have a cold or something, fuck yeah, mask up. Sure. Like, yeah.
I do enjoy wearing it. So I also, in an effort to do that, Random Rick reviews, is I will, if a white woman walks by my car or someone who looks like they're, I'm so good, I will lock my doors and just look at them as they walk by, because I feel that's fair.
Hides my contempt for humanity. Yeah. It was kind of nice having like just being like you have like a reason to be a ninja. It's
also like I know my wife and I both perfected the idea of the eyeball smile where you're just like stone faced and you're like looks like this, but I'm not moving my face.
Felt like I was part of Cobra.
Yeah, well, listen, hey, Hey, that's a good, respectable 9 to 5 job. Okay.
COVID mask.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
But yeah, no,
I'll put that as a sound clip. Cobra mask. Yeah.
it's definitely going to be like I carry one in my pocket, literally, just like just in case, or like if you're in a room full of people and
Yeah.
like when I get on the train, I usually wear a mask just because like sardine can.
On like when I was on the bus too, I had one just because I'm like, if there's a lot of people and someone starts coughing, I'll put one on because it's recirculated air. Like that's fine. Airplane, we both wear masks. Why? I'm like, I have gotten sick on an airplane.
Yeah.
I've fallen asleep on a bus and the air conditioning was pointed like right in my mouth and I got sick. Yeah, absolutely.
I try to, like, for an airplane mostly keep it on as long as I can, but then like after a while it just starts getting suffocating. Not
Right.
literally, but just sort of like, oh, this is fucking annoying. Like I try and go for as long as I can.
Well, no, like realistically, if you don't have
Yes.
a nice mask,
Yeah.
it's always a pain. Like Victoria was smart enough that like right out of the get go, because with her parents are older, we're always very careful. So if somebody has a cold that's in the house, we were like, hey, put on a mask, just for their safety, just in general, right? Because it could be really difficult for them to have a cold or a flu or anything like that, right?
Eye
So
contact with the cougher. Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely. Hey, I make eye contact with like that was the weirdest part is that people even after COVID have even make less eye contact, and I like making eye contact, and when I do make eye contact, I try and smile at people to be like, hey, I'm a giant, but I won't eat you.
Yeah.
If you're good.
I mean,
And
like for people who enjoyed making less eye contact, it's an autist's dream. That they're just like, great, I don't have to make eye contact with
yeah,
people.
yeah, no, true, but
Yeah,
definitely
and
one of those things.
also like I did the like fabric like semi-permanent mask. All of them are either like frayed, fallen apart, or lost at this point. But I do have to give a shout out again. This is the same lady that made the Netflix and chill drink that we were talking about last week. Alice, at the
Yeah.
beginning of the pandemic, she made me like 10 and mailed them to me. They were great.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
lasted close to 3 years. That's pretty
Well,
solid.
if let's be honest, we're coming up to winter time and maybe some people will get sick. So I personally have found something that maybe it might be a solution to your problems. Atlas, we can do something like this. It's perfect. It's a
The
good
Immortan Joe mask.
good
Or no, that's the face hugger.
that's a face hugger.
Yeah, nice.
Realistically,
Yeah.
it's and then it's about safety first, people. Safety
Mhm.
first. That's the key. But I hope you watched them.
Hope you wash them. Yeah, no, you wash them with your laundry.
The key
yeah.
is wash them with urine, people. That's how you keep it away.
I got real dark real fast, and by dark I mean yellow.
It's called ketosis. In all honesty, I think the one thing is like somebody sent me a meme the other day where it's like, how come people who drink urine always look like they drink urine? And you're like, that's factual.
I didn't even know there was a look for people who drink urine.
Oh,
something that I consider.
And when you see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I get that. That's so. I guess we'll call it there, and hopefully, I hope you guys have enjoyed Billy Wayne Davis. He was a great guest. Shout out to him. I hope he's well, and we will see him soon again for a third, fourth time. Maybe this is his fourth time.
This is his second time, I think.
Well, there was
third time.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, John D. Ruddy we've had 3 times, and if we had him back, it'd be the 4th.
Yeah,
that's the
but
hopefully it takes 2. I'm
in
the coming weeks. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, listening. Leave a like, leave a comment. At Generation Dan on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you find your podcasts. Tell a friend. Yeah. All that good stuff. Where can they find you?
They're also on Spotify as well. And I'm at Dino the Genetic Marvel. It's right here. Ooh, just Google me. I'm on a weight loss journey. I am in an effort to no longer have to fill out livestock transportation forms every time I fly. And it's happening. It's very exciting.
Well done. That got real dark real fast. Yellow real fast.
Because it's a big shame.
You can find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or my YouTube channel, The Epileptic Comic. Or you can follow my other podcast, Nexus at Night, which is about a trading card game called Vanguard, and that drops every Saturday. So thanks everybody
Fun
for
time.
listening. And until next time, we'll see ya. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.